We are live. The quarantine. Hello.
Hello.
We hope you're all good. We know you're probably at home. Everyone's at home. And the quarantine is here, to make the best of the quarantine time.
Week 2 or week 3 of quarantine already?
Who knows, man? It's when you're at home all the time, it seems like, it's like time has there's a different sense of time. There's absolutely a different sense of time is what I'm feeling. Anyway, you guys, let's pass this time in the next hour in a really fun way together. Let's connect above time and space. Let's use the insights from the wisdom of Kabbalah to help us, guide us, to see where the world is headed and where we're going. We're going to have some very cool guests today. We're going to have Dr. Giuseppe Negro, and he's from Italy, and he's doing something very interesting there that is worthwhile knowing about. Also, we're going to talk to our friends Jacques and Noam from Israel. We're cool people. We're going to talk to them as well. We're going to have some fun things. We want your input. We want to do this together. Seth, how are you feeling?
Asaf, I woke up this morning. I got a work call very early this morning, and it was like, why didn't you check your email? Didn't you see what I sent you? I said, oh my God, did I miss something? I checked it with an email that was sent late last night, but all of a sudden I was like right back into the thick of everything. Did I miss something? What did I do? What's going on? Okay, all right back into the, I was like, wait a minute, I thought we were in quarantine. I thought it was a new world. I thought everything was changed. I thought we were entering into a new life. I thought, wait, what's going on? Got very confused for a minute. I'm still in.
Home starts to feel like work. Oh no.
Yeah. I'm still in a little bit of an inner turmoil because it was one thing to enter into quarantine, then it was another thing to be into quarantine, and now it's another thing that the old world is trying to when someone's drowning, that grab on and try to pull the other one down. We disconnected from our regular lives 2 months ago. Maybe a month ago. I guess the world started to recognize this. And maybe when were we together at your place? That was in end of February. So as soon as we came home, beginning of March, so maybe 1 month, really, 1 full month for
wow,
us.
That seems like such a long time, man.
It's a lifetime ago. I know.
Wow.
The old world, let's say 2 months, maybe when it started. I think the first cases were January, but for us, say a month or so, just out every day in traffic, chasing competition, who can get more. And now sit in your house and think about life and think about the way we lived. Do we want to return to running around from morning and night? I grow up, I go to school, I get a job, I get married, I retire, and I die like a good monkey. What is the meaning of that? Is that I invested so much into that just to be enough, just to have enough. My ego made so much effort constantly every day, even though I understand what's the meaning of life, and even though I understand what I'm doing, and even though I'm on a path still, and even though I dedicate my life to this every day, still you get up, it's gotta go, get the coffee, get the kids to school, go to the office. Oh my God, there's a panic over here. Okay, everyone's right? It's you couldn't escape. Even on one hand, on one side, you're connected to something sublime, something meaningful, and on the other side, you still have this thing churning all of the time with the mortgage, with the expenses, with everything. And the virus is an educator. First, coronavirus, she came to educate us. The world was headed towards work. Not only was I doing this inside, but countries were doing this. We probably all can relate to this. The United States and Russia and China and the Middle East and the crisis in Europe with Brexit and Syria, right? And we forgot about Syria and all the other, hundreds of thousands of people killed and millions of refugees. And then the world was heading off of an ecological cliff. Okay, the ocean was choking, was full of plastic and choking, and the air was choking, and there was deforestation. and the earth was becoming bare, and the ice caps were melting, and the animals were dying, and there was going to be no
But we were oblivious to it. This is what I find really interesting. I mean, Corona, she came and just did like this and stopped,
shattered it.
stopped
Yeah,
that
whole world.
amazing, that unbelievably, relentless cyclical chase, this cyclical machine that was just, heading towards a disaster, towards a collision course or whatever it is. She just stopped it. And as a result, we understand better where the world was headed and how it was working. That, we're literally, we're on the level of countries, on the level of governments, and on the level of individuals. We were ignoring, the fact that we were on a collision course economically, in terms of social division, in terms of economic inequality, in terms of ecological catastrophe. The whole world was like going to not a good place, and we weren't even we couldn't stop ourselves, even though we knew where we were going. And so in this
Like a
respect,
drug addict or something.
yeah, exactly. It's like, you gotta go faster.
We even started, whether people liked Trump or didn't like Trump, the United States was almost having like a revival again of like everybody was, not everybody, I'm talking generally, but people were like working, and the country was like working, and things were happening, and things started to pick up. Now there was definitely signs. There was a lot of vacancies in the city, in New York City, and things like that. But even with all that, like when you say like a drug addict, you can't even see. Like at the beginning of a drug addict, it's like fun. He's like getting high, and it's like it's a really, at a certain later down in the addiction, it's you don't have any control. And so what? So everyone is going to go back to work, like making, okay, fine. The entire country is employed, and everyone's working, and everyone's got plenty of money. And what are we doing? We're just creating more crap, filling the landfills more, pulling more fish out of the air, sitting more.
Like you said, addicted to consumption, addicted to production, addicted to pollution, addicted to destruction, essentially. Addicted to this dog-eat-dog world that we created, addicted to just trying to be more or have more than others. And then within what? Like a few weeks, nature, Lady Corona, just put a stop to, just helped us.
This crown came down.
And then it's like, okay, it's like a voice is being heard, do you really want to fill your days from birth to death with nothing, with this cyclical chase? Do you really, what is going on? This is why this is such a weird and interesting time. It's the foundation of our whole way of life is being shattered and shaken in under our feet. And that enables us to stop and think, where the heck are we going? What's the meaning of this whole chase? Is there something bigger, better, truer that we should be living for? Not just by inertia, running to go and get and grab the next thing. And so it definitely cleanses us specifically from materialism. That's one. And it also prepares us to approach life in a deeper way, this whole reset period. I think that's really the opportunity that we have today as human beings, thanks to Lady Corona, is that we can start somehow exit our egos, somehow begin to see beyond ourselves, somehow cross into the other side of reality, not cross there yet even, but just see it, from a distance and say, okay, there could be a different life. I think a lot of people, even governments, even so, to some extent, I think, in short, people around the world, beyond language, culture, mentality, style, whatever it is, are beginning to see that there might be a different way and a different reason for our life here. And that, I think, is the incredible opportunity that we're facing.
That's Lady Corona did this for us. She came to educate and then shatter that. And I'm feeling somewhat nervous also now as we're settling into the phase 2 of the quarantine, because we don't want to be pushed from behind. It's pretty painful to get all of our messages, to have to change our lives because of suffering. And so it's not enough to now for us to just be passive here. That's what we're doing here. That's why we keep bringing all of these guests. We're gonna talk to Jacques and Noam now. They've been doing a really cool show on Facebook, or maybe not even. It's not a show. They're just showing their life. They're talking about life in quarantine. They've been married, I think, almost 30 years, which to me is like they're my role models. I know that it's difficult. There's all kind of ups and downs, but it's so beautiful to me. They're artists. They work in the world. They have children, and that to me, and the reason why I'm so happy to have that they're going to be joining us today is because we have to be proactive now. I don't want to be in a situation where we're going to move again, right? Because of course it's impossible, but if everybody took care of everybody and everybody, then we wouldn't need such a thing as Corona. It wouldn't come to humanity like this to shut all of this down, because we would already been doing all of these things. So something like this doesn't have a place. It's too hard to explain in too short of a time, and maybe we will have time. Maybe we can dedicate a show to it or something like that, bring in experts about it. But it doesn't have to, the virus doesn't really affect you if you're already doing the things that the virus is coming to make you do. Your silence is making me feel like maybe I'm getting confused. I'm being confusing, or I'm going alley.
I'm feeling that we should mention that we have a bunch of people with us. That's what I'm feeling, because I'm seeing a lot of people are joining us, greeting us, and joining us in this discussion. There's actually great people listening and watching. And hey, what's up? Eric, Elizabeth, Corinne. Hey, Steve. Hey, Ruth. Hey, Betty. Hey, Muhammad Bail from Facebook there. Alex Meditations from YouTube says shalom from Miami. All right. Hello, John. Hey. Hey, Tracy. Tracy Oliver. Philippa. Emily. Shira. Carly Robinson from YouTube. Whew. Okay. Some great people are with us.
Yeah. I haven't. A lot. It looks like people that I don't recognize from previous shows are sending messages today. That's really nice. Hi, everybody. Can you also see on YouTube? Because I don't see.
I can see on. We have viewers on YouTube and Facebook. All right. Now that we know that you're all there, you guys. When we bring in our guests, let's do an experiment. Let's really show them a lot of love. So just hit those like buttons and those love buttons, because here's the thing. We can call more people to come watch this. You know how? By all of us together, when our guest comes up. When are they coming, Seth? Is it now? Are you inviting them?
You know what? I just got a message that Giuseppe only has 25. Oh, okay. No, we're good. We're good. Okay. Yes, we are ready. Yeah. So let me bring in. I'm gonna send.
Okay. So you guys. Okay. While Seth is bringing Jacques and Noam, our first guests today, as they come in, just hit that like button, that love button, whatever it is, on Facebook and YouTube. What that does is it will call more people to come watch the show, because it will tell Facebook that something important and good is happening in this live stream, and so more people will see it on their feeds. There you go. Jacques, Noam, Duyeb, hello guys.
Hello.
Hi. I was warned that Noam hasn't spoken English in a couple of years, so that I should go easy on her.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say to you. Go a little bit easier.
Okay.
I'm translating in my mind from English to French to Hebrew, and then I have to react, so it takes a little bit of time.
Okay, you're being too humble. Do we have Asaf? Do you have some footage from what they're posting up on Facebook?
I'm gonna whip up something. Yeah.
So Jacques and Noam, I'm jealous of you, and I know that's you're my TV stars, and I know that real life is different than what you see on TV. But what I see on TV, when I see I think you did maybe 12 or 13 episodes, 12 maybe episodes, I don't remember, on Facebook of your life in quarantine. I see you talking together, listening to each other, cooking together. Maybe, Jacques, there's one where you're barbecuing. I don't know if that's your daughter or a neighbor or something.
It's my daughter.
It's your daughter. So, your kids are there. You're cooking. Jacques, I see you like cleaning the kitchen. One of you sitting at the computer. It's like everybody is stuck at home now. And we need to figure out how to be together, and not only how to tolerate each other, meaning how to just be in the same room, but how to actually turn this into an opportunity where the hearts open up more. Turn this into an opportunity where we actually live the kind of lives that we dream about, the kind of lives that we want. And in my imagination, you are an example of that. And so, if you can talk about why you started filming each other and putting it up, and what do you want to share through all of this?
I start?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll start. You're talking a lot about the situation. Yes, like we're stuck at home together a long party of the day, and it's a process that we are, in the beginning it's fun, okay, we're not going to work at home, and then it's getting a little bit tight to manage all day together when you have a different habit. But what we've discovered that the best way of getting out, not physically from the house, but getting out from inside, is try to share with people that are outside, to share, to try to help, to think about the other people. When it's like a miracle when you make effort to think about other people and you don't think about yourself, you don't feel any problems. It sounds the opposite, because when I'm worried about all the world, so it must be a mess in my head. But no, it's because it's going with the nature. When you're thinking about helping others, you don't feel that you are closed in four walls, and you feel that all the world it's opening to you. I don't know if I was so clear, but.
And we help ourselves also when we're doing this. It helps us. We think about it all day. We are together. We are think together.
So
when I woke up this morning, I got a call right away, early, that I made a mistake. Someone said I made a mistake with my work and all this, and I was sucked right into myself, and I started to feel so stressed out. And the last week up until that moment, since I've been in the quarantine, I've just been thinking about everyone. It kind of broke my momentum. And I see what you're saying. When you're thinking about everyone else, you're not thinking about your own problems. Noam, can you said it helps yourself also. What do you mean?
Because I'm think of what can I do, why I'm doing this, what happened. I have to think for myself, so I can share with others. So at the end, I'm helping myself also.
So it's really kind of a therapy, would you say? Like you guys are doing it and you feel like you're really, in a way, you're healing yourself and by sharing with the world?
In a way, I can agree with you. In a way, we're helping ourselves by helping others. Maybe it's a little bit egoistic, it sounds, maybe it is, but it's working. That's important that it's working. We have to understand what we are feeling, because first of we are feeling things, and then we try to understand what we are feeling. When you want to share what you are feeling, you have to work with it inside and to translate it to words, to clips. And when you understand the situation, you can say in a way you if there was a problem, then you solve the problem by understanding what is going on. That's the most important part when you have a problem and somebody, for example, is ill. Yeah. So if you know what he has, you resolve almost the situation. You know, then we have to do this and this. So by trying to understand together what is happening between us today, or what's the situation of the world today, try to feel it and to translate it to a short clip. Yes, because it seems maybe like we do it like a spontaneous, I don't know, something.
Spontaneously, yeah.
Okay, spontaneously, but we think a lot about it, how to do it, if we'll be at home, if we'll be outside, so it's
What is interest people, what they are doing, what is the difficult for them. Maybe if I think what is difficult for people now that they are at home, one on each other, so it's very difficult. So I think if I think about us, how we solved it, and try to solve it and show it, it's for us and it's for others.
what I can add maybe is if you can find something good in this, what's going on here, that's all the world is sharing it. Yes, all over the world we are sharing the same feeling now. That's something new that I don't remember something like this in all the history of the mankind. All the world are sharing the same feeling, the same situation, and it's a good beginning. It's not maybe a good thing that it's because of a virus, but it's a good beginning to understand that we share all over the world the same feeling, that we are human. What we are feeling here, in home, people in French, in USA feel the same. Inside we are really a lot like each other. We're not so different.
That's exactly the point. My Hebrew is lo kol kach tov. My Hebrew is not so good, so I can't understand all of what you're saying. But that's exactly what you said. Is exactly. I've watched all of your clips. I even started cleaning my kitchen after I cook, the way Jack does with the towel. Seriously. That is when we're finished, when we get off, so not to distract you now, when you leave, if you can go on to the Kabbalahinfo Facebook and write, when we're finished, if you can just put a link to your where the videos are, so that if anybody else wants to see them. But what I heard you say is you're thinking about, we're all sharing the same emotions. So what is something that we want to share, which is the emotion, the episode of our life that we're all going through, and you too are modeling, are showing like an example of a certain way to move through a certain emotion. Now, Tuesday, we had Amanda here. She is a relationship therapist. She talks to us about how couples can work together. First thing she said was slow down, and maybe just as the last candy for us, the last treat for us, you can maybe. I know you've been married for decades already. A while. You know each other well. Sure, it's a real love. It takes a lot
Give
of
us the
effort.
magic. Give us the secret.
Yeah,
This is what Seth wants to ask. Tell
that's
us,
what I
how do you
wanted-
make it
what's-
happen? How? It's not easy, obviously, 24/7 to be 30 years you're together. You know something that a lot of people don't. Tell us what it is. How does it work?
And a lot of people need.
Yeah.
It's not so easy all the time, but I think we want to be one with each other, so we learn how to do it. We learn together how we can do it.
I had to know him. Yes, we are married. I don't know. We have 3 children and 3 grandchildren.
Granddaughters.
Yes. And I think maybe it's not, we have 1 minute, so we can't really share everything. But if I have to choose 1 or 2 things, I say we have false thinking about what is relational or love. At the beginning, yes, we have. It's maybe because of you in Hollywood. Also, you have a part of this. We imagine that love is something. It's always happy, always good situation. And if there's a problem that we are not loving each other, let's try something else. And that's not true. That's not the reality. We can see that it's not working like this. So maybe love is it's an emotion, yes, but there are methods to take this beginning, this sparkle, that we start together, and how to make it alive, and to accept that problems are part and an important part of making love greater. With no problems, love won't be great.
Wow.
Don't be afraid of problems.
Don't-
We are going with problems.
Yeah. You guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming on the
Inspired.
show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
so
for
much.
making these beautiful videos. We're gonna put if you're not gonna do it, we're gonna do it. So all of our viewers will have a link in the chat here to
Asaf, can you put it in
to where we can
YouTube
see the
also,
videos
and Facebook,
on
the
YouTube
link
as
to-
well. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank
so we leave meeting, yeah?
Yeah. Thank you for joining.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Keep going.
Okay.
Asaf, the one thing Jacques said that struck me so deeply was I don't remember even how he said it, but it was like the intention inside of what they're doing, the thought behind what they're doing, and that's what I felt in watching those videos. Really, I can understand that kind of Hebrew that's fast and casual like that. But I felt in there.
But the
and they're
images
not-
speak, right?
What?
The visuals speak for themselves. It's powerful.
Yeah. And there's no special effects or anything like that, but you see people going through life, listening to each other, and you feel that's the main thing. I felt inside of there this effort between them. I felt so much effort between them. And I think that's what I was trying to say in the intro about how to move into a new kind of world where I started going down that tunnel that you pulled me out of, about 15 minutes ago. It's our action, and what we talked about last show. What is the action, right? The action is not chasing, running right now. The action right now is this like internal action, this internal search, this internal. Love is not. The real love that we need is not the love that Hollywood showed us. That's not the love that.
We've been indoctrinated and programmed and trained to relate to each other in such a superficial way for so long that now, we can step away from it for a while and just go back to basics in a sense, and begin to develop our senses. It's like our senses became blunt from chasing all the time, and we've just like we have an opportunity now for like a newfound sensitivity for human connection, specifically while we're being socially distanced. That's what I find so fascinating, that as human beings, we have an opportunity to connect on a deeper level, like the connection between all people, like what Jacques was talking about, how people today feel the same all over the world. We share the same feelings, we share the same concerns. We're all locked down in our house. There's again, Lady Corona, grabs us all together. It's like, you're all my children. You're all influenced by me. The crown now descends on all of you. It's like we're being reminded that we are connected, and
it's like
so
what Owen said.
Yeah.
Owen also said that in China, he said there's the same ego there. It may be like being suppressed. But there's 1.5 billion people over there that also have feelings.
Yeah. Whew. By the way, another interesting thing that I'm seeing, just a quick thought, throw it here to you and to our viewers, see if we can develop it later on. I also think that people at this point in time are beginning to disregard celebrities in a sense. I think there's a tendency to kind of like, there suddenly begins to be some aversion from Hollywood, from celebrities, from all that represents the superficial, non-real, non-human, kind of patterns and role models that we were looking towards. This is something I've noticed, like just from just seeing some things on social media, some headlines, some things that are happening. But I think it's another indicator. It's another indicator that human beings are now, looking for a deeper connection. Anyway, why don't we observe what's happening in Italy through our next guest? What do you think about that?
Right. So everybody knows Italy has been in the news. Can you invite him?
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
I will.
You will stall.
You will stall while it happens. Yeah.
Okay. Everybody knows about Italy. Italy has been in the news. First, the number right after China, the corona numbers spiked over there, and then the next thing we saw, the first kind of people's response that we started to see was people singing from their balconies in villages all over Italy. And I think that was the first time when everyone was like, oh, wait a minute, this is something interesting. This is not what we expected. They kind of sparked the love revolution, almost like the connection. Like, okay, so we're all in our own homes, we're all separate, but watch this, we all want to put into the air this kind of yearning to be together. And they all started singing together. I mean, it's part of their culture anyway, but in different villages all over the place, we started seeing videos pop up all over the internet of neighbors singing together. It was so touching, so emotional. Okay, I think I see Giuseppe joining us now.
Yes.
Hey, Giuseppe.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Dr.
Giuseppe
Giuseppe Negro.
Joining us from Italy. Hello, sir. Where are you in Italy?
Well, I'm in South Italy. In a region in a land that is called Puglia, near the sea. I'm a few kilometers and in front of the sea. Yes.
So we heard about this this project or this work that you've been involved in recently, and we're very, very inspired by it. and thought that it can really serve everyone to hear about what's going on. So maybe you can tell us, or we would really like you to tell us about this project you're working on, how it's set up, not technically, but like what happens there, and what's the goal of it, and what are the results that you're starting to see from it, and where it's going.
Yes, before all, thank you to invite me to talk about this experience. Well, you know that we are in Italy, we are already 3 weeks in quarantine, about 3 weeks, if I'm not get wrong. And we are in South Italy, especially we are used to be in contact, physically in contact with the friends, with the family. We love so much physical contact. And this time we are in the house, and the situation is very difficult. You know about this, the TV, the newspaper are full of this. We know about everything. And a group of friends mine, in which we have a psychologist, a doctor as me. Excuse me for my English, is not perfect, but
we understand everything.
Okay, thank you. I hope it's enough. And we want to make something for the people. Because okay, after the first days, at the beginning, the people sing song outside of the balcony, outside on the roof, for example, and they stay to be happy, even in this situation. But now, after some time, we see that the people get tired of this. Now we start a new phase in this quarantine. A new phase. The people are sad and start the desperation. They start to feel lost. They think about the economy of the future now, because if this situation go on, and it's look like they have to go on until summer maybe, our economy go down immediately, because you see, we are in a place that all economy is based in tourism. Tourism, because of our natural beauty, our sea and so on, our kitchen, and now we don't see nobody here. And all the hotels are empty, I don't know what happens. You understand that this is a disaster in a point of view of economics. And so the people now get tired about this, and they started to go in despair. And we want to make something. What do we do? A very simple thing, a very, very simple thing. We invite the people in a meeting like this, in Zoom, and we put together these people, and in a way that is like a workshop. They put together these people, they can talk. We address in some way, we lead in some way this workshop with this meeting, with the experience of some friends that have knowledge, that have understanding how to communicate, how to prepare the question, how to lead this meeting. And the people start to feel that they are together, even if we are isolated in our house, but the people can feel that have connected, that they stay together with the other. They can share the same emotion, they can share the impression, they can share, sometimes they can share the problems, but above all, they can share the beautiful things that can happen, even if we are in a strange state for us. And so we can see that the people can have from this experience a lot of positivity. they get out of the meeting with a lot of strength. They get out of despair and start again to think in a positive way. They find that this state is not so bad, can teach us many things. They can teach us how to use the time, how to reconnect.
Yeah. I think you were just getting into there. I wanted to know what are the impressions? What do people feel that can be positive? You know, while there's an economic collapse underway, while the situation is not necessarily getting better, while they're locked out in their homes, what do they find as positive?
They start to be aware of the fact that we cannot go in the same way of the past. There is something, I'm a doctor, I'm an expert in the traditional, all the traditional medicine, and there is a question that a doctor made to his patient. The question is very clear. If if you finish your state of illness, what do you do? And the patient can say, I start again to make the things that I do in the past. And this is not happy for it's not the best answer for the doctor because
we were just talking about how, you know, before the corona phenomenon, Seth and I were talking about the world as being addicted, you know, being addicted to consumption, to pollution, to infinite growth that is unrealistic and economically, to a bunch of things that don't make sense. And you're coming at it you're saying the same thing from a medical perspective. It's really interesting.
And then for the people now are aware that it is impossible to go in the same way of the past. In this time, it's interesting, this phenomenon. And this is very in all the population, because we make a lot of these meetings and come 100 people in each meeting, 90, 100, 200 people. Also come mayors of the city, journalists, and they say the same thing. They say all the same thing. What is the most important thing? They say that we have to understand that we need another way of life. It is possible we hope to not come back in the same way of life, to start to take this opportunity to change our point of view, our lives. And this is interesting because we all know that it's impossible to go as the same time of the past, because of the natural resource, because of the pollution, because of many things. And the people are aware of this. Many people. Is not aware only the intellectual people. The simple people are aware about this. They understand that the danger is to come back in the previous situation and to continue as the past.
How do you
understand it.
How do you guide these connections? You get the people together, right? Because people are listening and they're like, wow, some great doctor in Italy gets the mayor and gets 100 people and I'm not like him. What am I going to do? I'm here. I don't know I'm not a doctor. I don't know the mayor. Yes. So when you bring the people together, Giuseppe, how do you guide them towards this? You know, fine, you can get 100 people to get into a Zoom. What are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about spaghetti. You know, how do you talk about?
Yes, we create only the situation. Only the situation. Here is not important if he's a great doctor or a great intellectual. The situation that we create with a little bit of talking, with some beautiful things that we can say, but overall they participate. The people participate to this game. I can call this a game, connection games. Together, they answer a question all together. They talk all together. We cannot make nothing. We make only the opportunity. We create the opportunity to the people to talk. And they, I don't know how to say, the wisdom of the people, the wisdom of the masses, how to call, the expert call in this way. And we see this because each one help the other, each one add to the other, and they reach the conclusion that are wonderful.
So suppose I see now there's 67 people on Facebook. I can't see how many people are on YouTube. Maybe there's another 50. So if there's 100 people here and each of them connected to 10 people, you're starting to talk about numbers, right? So imagine if everybody here only is able to do this with one other person on the telephone, you know, their mom, their neighbor. What if everyone here is able to do it with 5 people during the next week? What is the way? Can you give everyone here something practical? Even if they can't do what you do and get 100 people into a meeting, maybe they can. Maybe there's somebody here who can get 1,000 people. But can you give everyone here something? We're trying to create an environment for everybody in the quarantine where they can create a new life already, start building this. So can you talk to us about a little bit about the how you would do it?
Yeah. Maybe even like what would be like the main, you know, question or a few questions that you would recommend people to discuss in order to
okay.
Yeah.
Yes, this is important. We prepare in advance this meeting and we employ sometimes to prepare this. For example, tomorrow we have a meeting with the parents, the problem with the parents. In this time, the parents are in the house. They have a lot of time with the children. The children don't go to the school, they stay together. So sometimes it's very beautiful because they, again, they restart this communication with the children that have lost because they are so busy, because a lot of work, because many duties of the children, of the parents, and so on and so on. And now they look each other. The children with the parents, and the parents inside have some fear about the future for these children. So we put all together, the parents, and we, few minutes to start, they introduce each other, say something each other, few minutes only to break the atmosphere, the cold atmosphere that we are not, because we don't know each other.
Like an icebreaker. Yeah.
Yes. And after this, we start to put a question in the center. We put a question in the center and they start to work about this. The first step is to create a positive atmosphere, a very positive atmosphere. So the first question is about, for example, for tomorrow, maybe they are preparing, the friends are preparing about this, but maybe I think they ask, remember a very beautiful emotion, a very beautiful experience that you are living this time now in the quarantine with your children. I'm sure they have something to share about this. Maybe a father that never see the children, so time, and is started to say, oh, it's wonderful. It look like the first time that I see my daughter, see my children, and start to share the beautiful emotion about this. And this is this time, in this problematic time, and they find something very positive. After this, we can ask, I don't know, maybe they ask about the future. How we can prepare ourselves to have the good future for your children? Maybe, I don't know. So in few steps, they don't need a lot of time. They need 1 hour, 15 minutes. And we have experts in this, we have friends that are experts in this, they can lead the process, they can lead this meeting in a way that they get out of this meeting with a positive impression. Okay, there is a problem, but we felt that we are together, that we share the same situation. We felt that we are together, we can find the solution for all the problems, for everything. So I'm not so sad about this. I'm not so down. I start to be more positive more full of hope, and we want to spread this situation, to spread this experience as much as possible. The people find from themselves the solution after this. Many people ask to come back. Many people ask to come back. They want to improve this emotion.
You just hit the bullseye, I think, Giuseppe.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the wisdom of the masses. It's like, it's not that Giuseppe Negro has the answer, or Asaf or Seth or somebody has the answer, but you put everybody together and everybody starts cooking with the ideas, and one person's, well, my kid's doing this. It doesn't matter. But when everyone comes together, something, this new thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sure.
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
This is incredible, because they have. If we created a situation, they find everything inside. The people find everything. They are ready. What we see that is that they are ready for a new step. For a new step. This gives us a lot of hope about the future, and we have to go in a hurry to make many of these meetings, because can help everything.
Dr. Giuseppe Negro, you inspired us. I think you inspired our viewers as well. We're getting a lot of comments showing love here. We love you, Italy. I wish I knew Italian so I could join one of those meetings you're doing. But it's definitely inspiring. It's such a wonderful initiative, and I think that everyone who heard this is probably eager to try it for themselves. I mean, we were in a special situation for rediscovering human connection, and you're doing it in practice. Thank you so much for coming here to share this with us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hopefully we can also, maybe as you continue, you can come back in another few weeks and tell us again, about how it's working and
Sure.
because we're creating an environment here where we're learning together and moving through this quarantine. So thank you so much, Dr. Giuseppe Negro from Italy,
Thank
from
you.
the south of Italy, for joining us. Big
Thank
hug.
you very
Thank you,
much.
sir. Okay, bye.
Bye, Giuseppe. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Wow,
Wow.
Asaf. Every single guest on the show is so incredible. Oh my God. Wow, it's like we're just like in a mine and just finding gems after gems. When you talked about the wisdom of the crowd, it really, I mean, I heard it we're studying the wisdom of Kabbalah. I mean, we heard it many times, but it's like the corona comes on all of humanity, and then all of humanity kind of responds to corona. It's not like one person, like me, my problem at work, me, I'm in traffic, me, I'm have to get my credit card and my loan.
I loved that he said that while this is happening, while they feel the economic crisis very strongly, while they feel the frustration, the uncertainty, the demise of the caterpillar happens at the same time of the rise of the butterfly, meaning the old world is collapsing and we're losing the foundation beneath our feet, while a whole new balance and a new ground to climb to is being built. A new world is being built while the old one is kind of losing its grip on us. It's a very, very unique process if you take that perspective. Yeah.
And we saw Jacques and Noam also. It's like, here's a couple it's not like like on an app where you're like, okay, yeah, nice curly hair, no straight hair, no blonde, no brown, no that, it's
Exactly.
like they're together 30 years, and is it love when I'm just like, oh no, yeah, no, yeah,
dude,
love?
this is you're echoing something that I was trying to say. I'm feeling something like this that is happening. People are, because of the quarantine, because of the virus, because of the detachment to some extent from materialism, because of the losing the that relentless, that addiction to the relentless chase, cyclical chase for fulfilling our egos every day from dawn to dusk, because we are removed from this for a bit, I think that people are rediscovering human connection, and they're saying no to old. They're like internally are kind of feeling aversion towards these old ways of thinking and relating to each other, because they were all based on, you know, like this celebrity did that, or the, you know, that, you know, Hollywood film, we saw this example, you saw that example. There were all of these kind of plasticky, you know, superficial, non-real examples and role models that we had.
It felt completely real because we were in our ego, specifically inside of our ego. It felt completely real. I need to do this. I need to get those shoes. I need to get to this. I need to, you know, I need that. You know, all of a sudden you wake up in the morning and all of a sudden I need this new thing that I didn't need yesterday, right? And then the next day you go to sleep. Okay, now I don't care about that anymore. And then I wake up. I need this. I have to have this. I need what?
Do you imagine? Can you imagine what happens for a few months if, you know, we are relieved and liberated from the influence of advertisement and Hollywood, let's say, for like a good chunk of time, just completely relieved from it. Can you imagine what will kind of fruit out?
So we need the education. That's what, you know, that's really important, because just to be relieved of it is one thing, but what are we going to do inside of the quarantine? Because, you know, if we stay within the ego, you know, like Jacques and Noam, right? So if they say, no, I want this, no, but they say, no, that's not what love is. Love is, I want to find you. I want to meet you. I want to, like, I have to understand what love is as something different from just satisfying my ego, right? So first of all, we cut it off. You know, the ego is cut. Lady Corona did that for us. She kind of stopped, put us in our homes, and now we have to kind of re-educate ourselves. Not re-educate, really educate ourselves. Is it enough? Was the old education good? Okay, you, child, sit in that chair in school 8 hours a day for 12 years. Now when you're done, go buy a house, get your mortgage over here, sit in your office over here for the next 50 years. When you're done, you can maybe, you know, go sit somewhere sunny and, you know, go die there. And, you know, good little monkey, you know, you were another.
Yeah.
It's making me feel sick, you know. So Lady Corona stopped. Now, what are we going to do? Or is that the life we want to go back into? For sure not. It can't be. It can't be.
Whew. Seth, we need to wrap up here. We've reached our our time. I wanna, you know, the last episode, last show, we played a song, but we had to, like, I think on YouTube it was cut off before the end of it, and it's really a beautiful song, and I think it's very suitable to end this one with it as well. And hopefully now everyone can watch it to the end. And it's about how, you know, just like we've noticed, like halfway through the show, I think today, that everyone is feeling today that they are not just at home, you know, but we're all together at our homes, but also collectively in our collective home. There's something that, you know, Corona is pushing us to recognize that we're together, that we're one, that it's all one, that everything that's happening to us is really just a single push of nature that is really, if we look at it in the right way, if we look at it in a deep enough way, nature is educating all of humanity. It wants us to grow. It wants us to move forward to a better state. It wants us to leave our binky and start speaking, you know, and start speaking, feeling and speaking and experiencing the world and life on some new level. And taking care of each other and the world that we're in, feeling a part of that magnificent system of nature that we're a part of. And that's where we're going, man. We're going to see that it's all one.
Yeah, you mesmerized me. I was just everybody, we are here. We are here because we care about you. We want to connect. We want that we want to feel your response. If there's things that you want to talk about, we brought so many incredible guests, but if there's something that's on your mind, something that we need to go through this together, that's the whole point. That's why we're here. We're going through this time together because the life we build inside the quarantine will be the life that we enter. The relationships that we build now will be the world that we go into, right? We're not watching this on TV. This is not a show. This is our life. So
this is our life. It's our life. All right, you guys, thank you so much for all these wonderful, everyone's like just flooding us here with greetings and comments and love in the chat boxes in both YouTube and Facebook. And also, I know that probably the stream was buffering for most of the show. Maybe this is something we can't do a lot about. The internet is flooded these days, and you guys sticking around despite that is amazing. Our connection here is beyond the wires. So we're gonna leave you with this wonderful music video. This is again, it's called "It's All One," and it was written. Actually, it's an interesting thing. It was written by friends in Israel, Seth, right? And then
Yeah.
Tony from Toronto did like a version in English.
Yep, that's what happened. I think maybe Zamir wrote the one that was also one of our guests.
Mm-hmm.
I think he wrote the Hebrew lyrics, and then Tony translated to English and made an unbelievable arrangement and a beautiful music video. So let's see. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody. Without further ado, let's watch this video. We're signing off. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Every heart in prayer, and it's all one. The light and the darkness, the sweetness, the sorrow, it's all one. The good and the bad, what's past and tomorrow, and it's all one. What's near and what's far, revealed and concealed in us, all is one. Of an eye, it'll all disappear, and we'll turn from this world to a world without end, where each sin that we've sown will be shown in our favor. This is our life, this is our life.